Islamic militants attacked a school over the weekend in northeast Nigeria. At least 42 students and a teacher are dead in Yobe State. Survivors say the militants drenched a dormitory in fuel and then set it on fire. Authorities blame that violence on Boko Haram, a radical Muslim group that has been behind a series of other attacks in the region. The government ordered all secondary schools in Yobe State closed after that attack.
And with us now is CBN international correspondent George Thomas. He's been to Nigeria and seen firsthand the works of Boko Haram. So, George, tell us about this group.
Yeah, well, it was founded back in 2001 as an indigenous local group based mainly up in the northern part of Nigeria. But then in 2009, it decided to go jihadist. And so they wanted to turn a particular state in the north, turn it into an Islamic emirate. The Nigerian military stepped in and basically crushed it. But it's the word Boko Haram is actually a Hausa word, which means Western education is sinful. And it's an Islamist organization that has reportedly ties to Al-Qaeda and other jihadist groups in the region.
So why attack a students at a secondary school?
Again, Ephraim, it goes back to this idea that they just do not believe that Western education, teaching kids how to use a computer, teaching kids math, English, science, they believe that Islamic Sharia law, which is the Islamic jurisprudence, the fundamental foundational tenets of Islam, should only be that's taught in these schools. And so they think any education that is against or not part of Islam, it is forbidden and obviously should not be taught. And in fact, this is the third attack that's happened in the northern part of the country.
Unbelievable. But considering what you're saying, Christians, there must be a special target for this group, correct?
They have been, really. I mean, it's been horrific. In fact, 2012 was the deadliest a year for Christians all around the world. In Nigeria, close to about 900 Nigerian Christians were killed last year. No other country in the world has experienced such atrocities, and this year it's getting worse, and the situation doesn't seem to be stopping.
So it's getting worse. What is the government doing to stop Boko Haram? We've seen the violence.
Yeah, you know, there's been a lot of pressure on the Nigerian government. The president about 2 months ago, May 12th, launched a military offensive up in the north to go after 3 particular states that really has become the epicenter of Boko Haram's operations. And so they sent in thousands of Nigerian troops into the region. The efforts to quell the attacks continues, but clearly the attack on the school is another very, very sad reminder of how effective they continue to be.
Now, some have warned that there is a danger of civil war between the Christian South and Muslim North. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, people need to realize that Africa, this is the most populous nation on the African continent. 170 million Nigerians who live here, and the country is really broken up. If you look at the map of Nigeria, evenly split. The Muslims in the north, the Christians in the south. And most of the attacks have, since 2009, focused mainly in the north. There have been, in the last 12 months, attacks in the southern part, but most of the attacks takes place in the north. And so they are clearly trying to get Christians in the south engaged and try to create a civil war. But the Christians, look, if you look at the northern part of Nigeria, primarily poor, a lot of corruption, a lot of mismanagement of government amongst the states in the north. The south is very rich, lots of oil. Most of the oil, again, Nigeria is one of the top oil producers in the world. And so there is this conflict between the northern part, poverty, southern part, Christian, and predominantly Christian, and lots of wealth.
No, real quickly, tell us about the Christians there. How are they enduring, and how can we pray for them?
Yeah, you know, it's such a sad situation, Ephraim. Just imagine every Sunday morning you and I go to church. In the northern parts of Nigeria, every Christian who goes to church on a Sunday is not guaranteed that he or she will come back, because these attacks have been going on specifically against Christians and churches. And so it's a very, very sad situation, and we need to continue to pray.
Absolutely, indeed, indeed. George Thomas, as always, thank you so much for your insight.
You're welcome, sir.